On a distant planet, far from Earth, a group of powerful alien generals gathered in their grand war room. The room was filled with strange technology and holographic screens that displayed images from different worlds. General Xylar, a tall and imposing figure with glowing green skin, was the leader of this group. He was known for his cunning strategies and sharp mind. Today, the generals were focused on one planet, Earth. They were watching a live feed of human activities, trying to understand this strange species that had recently become a topic of concern in the galaxy. As they observed, the generals were astonished by what they saw. Groups of human children were playing outside, climbing tall trees, and running around without a care in the world. They laughed and screamed, their voices filled with excitement. "What are they doing?" one of the advisors asked, puzzled by the sight. General Xylar leaned closer to the screen, intrigued. "They play with danger," he replied. "This behavior is reckless. These children could fall or hurt themselves." The other generals nodded, some even smirking. They saw this as a weakness. If these children act without fear, then their kind must be just as foolish, another general declared. Xylar saw an opportunity. They would use this information against humanity at the upcoming summit, believing they could undermine Earth's strength by showing how reckless its young were. But little did they know, there was much more to these human children than met the eye. On Earth, in a small town filled with green parks and tall trees, a group of children were enjoying a sunny afternoon. The sun shone brightly in the sky, and a gentle breeze made the leaves rustle. Among these children were Mia, Sam, and Leo, three best friends known for their wild adventures. They loved exploring and were never afraid to try new things. Mia was a fearless girl with wild curly hair and bright blue eyes. She was always the first to climb the tallest trees and jump into the deepest puddles. Sam, with his cautious nature, had sandy brown hair and glasses. He loved to think things through, often planning their adventures carefully. Leo, the inventive genius of the group, had short black hair and a smile that could light up any room. He loved building things and always found clever ways to make their games even more exciting. That day, Mia had a brilliant idea. "Let's explore the old woods behind my house," she suggested, her eyes sparkling with excitement. "I heard there are secret caves and maybe even treasure." Sam hesitated. "What if we get lost?" "The woods can be dangerous," he warned, adjusting his glasses. But Mia's enthusiasm was infectious. "Come on, Sam. We'll be careful. We can handle anything." Leo nodded, always eager for an adventure. "I can bring some rope and a flashlight," he said, ready to contribute. As they made their way into the woods, the trees towered over them like giants. Sunlight filtered through the leaves, creating patterns on the forest floor. The air was filled with the sounds of chirping birds and rustling leaves. The children felt a sense of freedom as they stepped deeper into the woods, excitement bubbling in their hearts. They soon reached a clearing with a massive tree that looked perfect for climbing. Without hesitation, Mia dashed toward it. "I'll go up first," she shouted, already scaling the trunk. "Be careful," Sam called after her, but Mia was already at the first branch, grinning down at her friends. Leo watched in awe. "You're amazing, Mia," he cheered as she reached higher, her laughter echoing through the trees. As Mia climbed higher, she spotted something shiny nestled in the branches. "Look, there's something up here," she exclaimed. The other two looked up, their eyes wide with curiosity. Sam felt a twinge of worry, but also excitement. "What is it?" he asked, trying to get a better view. "I don't know, but I'm going to find out," Maya replied. She carefully moved towards the shiny object, her heart racing. Just then, she slipped. For a moment, time seemed to freeze. Sam gasped, and Leo held his breath, their hearts pounding. But Maya quickly regained her balance, laughing as she steadied herself. "See, no problem," she shouted, her confidence growing. As she reached the shiny object, she discovered it was an old compass. "Look what I found," she yelled, holding it high. The compass glinted in the sunlight, and the friends cheered. They gathered around Mia, amazed by her find. "This could lead us to treasure," Leo said, his imagination racing. "Or it could just help us find our way home," Sam added, still a bit worried. With the compass in hand, the children decided to venture further into the woods. They created challenges for themselves, like jumping over small streams and climbing over fallen logs. Each obstacle made them laugh and scream with excitement. They felt brave and unstoppable, showing no fear of the small dangers they encountered. As they played, their shouts and laughter filled the air. Unknown to them, their carefree antics and daring games were being watched from afar. The alien generals, observing through their screens, couldn't understand the joy and bravery these children displayed. To them, it seemed reckless and foolish. But for Mia, Sam, and Leo, this was a normal day of adventure, a day filled with friendship and the thrill of exploration. Little did they know that their innocent games would soon challenge the alien generals' perceptions of humanity. The children were not just playing with danger. They were proving that humans could face risks with courage and creativity. The aliens would soon learn that the spirit of humanity ran deeper than they could imagine. As the sun began to set, casting a golden glow over the woods, the children felt a sense of wonder, unaware that their lives were about to change forever. As the sun began to set, casting long shadows in the woods, Mia, Sam, and Leo decided it was time to head back. They had explored much of the forest, and their spirits were high from their adventures. However, as they turned to retrace their steps, they noticed something strange in the distance. A faint glow flickered between the trees, drawing their attention. "What is that?" Leo asked, squinting his eyes. "It looks like it's coming from over there." Mia pointed, her curiosity piqued. Despite Sam's cautious nature, the thrill of exploration overtook him. "Let's go check it out," he suggested, his heart racing with excitement. The trio moved cautiously towards the glow. The closer they got, the more it illuminated the area around them. As they pushed through the thick underbrush, they stumbled upon a clearing where the ground was littered with small, colorful crystals. The crystals sparkled in hues of blue, red, and green, casting an otherworldly light across their faces. "Wow, this is amazing," Mia exclaimed, picking up a small crystal and holding it up to the light. "I've never seen anything like it." The friends marveled at the beauty surrounding them, completely unaware of the implications of their discovery. "Do you think we should take some home?" Leo asked, excitement bubbling over. "Maybe we should leave them here," Sam suggested, still feeling a twinge of caution. "We don't know what they are." But Mia, ever the adventurer, insisted, "What if they have powers? We can't just leave them." With that, she pocketed a few crystals, and Leo followed suit. Suddenly, a loud rustling sound erupted from the bushes nearby. The three friends froze, their hearts pounding in their chests. Sam whispered, "What was that?" They peered into the shadows, their imaginations racing. Moments later, a small creature leaped into the clearing. It had large eyes and fur that shimmered like the crystals. The creature looked just as startled as the children. "Look, it's so cute," Maya said, stepping forward. The creature sniffed the air, and then, as if sensing the children's good intentions, it slowly approached them. "It's friendly," Leo said, grinning from ear to ear. The small creature, drawn to the shiny crystals in Mia's hands, gently nudged her leg with its nose. Just then, the sounds of their laughter and the sight of the glowing crystals reached the alien generals watching from their distant war room. General Tylar leaned closer to the screen, his interest piqued. "What are these creatures?" "They are interacting with the children without fear," he said, astonished. The other generals exchanged glances, intrigued yet puzzled. "Is this what humans are capable of? Making friends with even the most unknown creatures?" one asked, surprised by the children's bravery and the creature's trust. Tylar frowned, realizing that perhaps their understanding of humans was incomplete. Meanwhile, back in the woods, the children were having the time of their lives. They named the creature Spark, after the glowing crystals surrounding them. Spark seemed to enjoy their company, playfully darting between the children as they laughed and clapped. The trio felt a bond forming, as if they had discovered a new friend in this magical place. As they played, Sam finally felt at ease. "Okay, this is actually really cool," he admitted, smiling as he joined in the fun. They threw small sticks for Spark to chase, and the creature leaped with joy. In that moment, the children realized they were not just explorers. They were part of a larger story, one that involved friendship, adventure, and the unknown. As dusk fell, the glow of the crystals illuminated the clearing, casting a beautiful light on their faces. The children decided it was time to return home, but they promised Spark that they would come back to visit. They waved goodbye, feeling a sense of magic lingering in the air. Unbeknownst to them, the alien generals had witnessed the whole encounter. They began to rethink their previous assumptions about humans. These children were not just reckless beings. They were curious, brave, and capable of forming connections with the unknown. This realization sent a ripple of unease through the ranks of the generals. Back in their war room, Sylar knew they had underestimated humanity. He sensed a shift in the narrative. Humans had an uncanny ability to adapt and connect. As the generals debated their next move, the children were blissfully unaware of the growing interest they had sparked among the stars. Their innocent adventure had already started to change how the galaxy viewed humanity. With the sun setting and the stars beginning to twinkle in the night sky, the children headed home, their hearts full of joy and their minds buzzing with the possibilities of their next adventure. They were unaware of the significant impact their actions had on the alien watchers and how they had begun to challenge the very notions of what it meant to be human in the vast universe. Back in their high-tech command center, the alien generals convened around a massive holographic display, which pulsed with the recent footage of the human children and their newfound friend, Spark. General Sylar stood at the forefront, his expression a mixture of disbelief and intrigue. "These humans are unlike anything we anticipated. They exhibit a resilience and creativity that we underestimated," he said, his voice steady yet filled with wonder. The other generals murmured in agreement, their minds racing with the implications of what they had witnessed. General Threx, known for his aggressive tactics, crossed his arms. "We must take action now. If these children can bond with a creature like that, they may be more dangerous than we imagined. They could rally others to their cause." Sylar shook his head, his thoughts deepening. "But is it not possible that we could learn from them? Their ability to connect and communicate is powerful. What if we approached this situation differently?" The generals fell silent, weighing Sylar's words. "Perhaps we should observe more closely," suggested General Venna, who had always been fascinated by human behavior. "These children may provide insights into their kind's strengths and weaknesses. It could be the key to understanding humanity as a whole." The thought of observing humans instead of immediately attacking intrigued the other generals, but Threx remained skeptical. "And what if they use this time to gather their allies? We risk becoming complacent." As discussions continued, the holographic display shifted to show the children packing up their treasures from the forest. They were filled with excitement, recounting their adventures and laughing together, unaware of the eyes that were watching them. Meanwhile, back on Earth, the children shared their incredible experience with their parents, but their tales were met with mixed reactions. Some adults expressed concern about the dangers of exploring the woods alone, while others were captivated by their stories of friendship and adventure. "Mia, are you sure it was safe?" her mother asked, her voice filled with worry. "You need to be careful. There could be wild animals out there." Mia nodded, trying to reassure her. "But Mom, we made a friend. Spark is amazing." As Mia spoke, Sam and Leo chimed in, eager to share their excitement. "You should have seen him. He played with us, and he's really fast." They were animated, their eyes shining with the thrill of the day's events. Their enthusiasm seemed to ease the tension, if only a little. While the children reveled in their stories, the alien generals were busy devising a plan. They agreed to send a small team to Earth, disguised as human observers, to learn more about the children and humanity. This team would be equipped with advanced technology to ensure their safety and anonymity. General Tyler volunteered to lead the mission, believing that direct interaction would provide invaluable insights. We will understand their culture and behavior better than ever before. This could change the course of our strategy, he declared. The other generals nodded in agreement, their fears set aside for the moment. Days passed, and the children continued their adventures, exploring the woods and playing with Spark whenever they could. Little did they know that their innocent fun was being watched by beings from another world. Meanwhile, the alien team prepared for their journey. They programmed their cloaking devices and rehearsed their human personas. Each member had to blend in seamlessly, adopting the behaviors and mannerisms of human children to avoid suspicion. As the day of departure approached, Tyler felt a mixture of excitement and anxiety. This was uncharted territory for his kind, and he was acutely aware of the risks involved. Would they be able to understand these humans, or would they inadvertently provoke fear and hostility? Finally, the day arrived. The alien ship, a sleek and advanced craft, descended into the woods near where the children often played. It landed silently, cloaked from human eyes. Sylar and his team emerged, donning disguises that made them appear like ordinary kids, albeit with a slight shimmer to their skin that might give them away if observed closely. As they stepped into the daylight, Sylar took a deep breath, filled with a sense of purpose. The children were not just an unknown entity, they were the key to understanding humanity. If they could forge a connection, it might change everything. Back at the clearing, the children were busy playing and laughing, completely unaware of the new friends arriving in their midst. They were ready to embark on another adventure, and soon they would meet the alien team who would challenge their understanding of friendship, courage, and the bond that could exist between very different beings. As Sylar watched the children from a distance, he felt a surge of hope. Perhaps there was more to humanity than just their reputation as warriors. The lessons they were about to learn could reshape not only their perceptions, but the future of their kind as well. With a nod to his team, they began to move toward the clearing, ready to make contact. As the alien team approached the clearing, they marveled at the vibrant scene before them. The sun filtered through the leaves, casting playful shadows on the ground where the human children laughed and played with Spark. The aliens exchanged glances, realizing that their mission was more than just an observation. It was a chance to build a connection with these intriguing beings. The children were busy engaging in an imaginative game, pretending to be explorers on a distant planet. Mia, with her vivid imagination, was the fearless leader, while Sam and Leo took on roles of brave astronauts. As they ran around, their laughter filled the air, drawing the aliens closer. Tyler took a deep breath, feeling both excitement and nervousness. He glanced at his team, and they nodded in understanding. They had rehearsed their roles carefully, but now, in the moment, everything felt surreal. Could they truly convince the children that they were just like them? Now, Sylar whispered, signaling his team to step into the clearing. The aliens moved forward, their disguises shimmering slightly in the sunlight, giving them an ethereal quality. As they entered the clearing, the human children paused, their laughter fading into curious silence. Mia was the first to break the spell. "Who are you?" she asked, her eyes wide with curiosity. "We're explorers, just like you," Sylar replied, forcing a cheerful tone into his voice. "We heard about your adventures and wanted to join in." The aliens' voices carried a mix of excitement and eagerness, hoping to draw the children in. Sam squinted, unsure if he should trust these newcomers. "You don't look like us," he said, crossing his arms defensively. Sylar sensed the hesitation and quickly added, "We're from a distant place. We may look different, but we're here to learn and play." Mia, ever the optimist, took a step closer. "You want to play with us?" she asked, her excitement bubbling to the surface. "Yes, we'd love to join your game," Scylla replied, feeling a sense of relief as the children's curiosity sparked. The children exchanged glances, and slowly their apprehension faded. "Okay, you can be part of our crew," Maya said, her face lighting up with enthusiasm. "We're exploring a new planet." As the aliens joined the game, they tried to mimic the children's enthusiasm. They dashed around the clearing, pretending to dodge asteroids and leap over imaginary craters. The aliens were amazed at how effortlessly the children created their universe with nothing but their imaginations. As they played, Scylla observed the children closely, noting how they interacted with each other and Spark. The bond they shared was genuine, filled with laughter, trust, and friendship. This was a side of humanity that Scylla had never seen before. After some time, the game paused for a moment, and the children sat on the grass, catching their breath. "What's your name?" Leo asked one of the aliens, who introduced herself as Zira. "We come from a place far away, beyond the stars," Zira explained, her eyes sparkling with excitement. "We wanted to learn about you because you seem so brave and adventurous." Mia grinned. "We're not scared of anything." "Well, except for maybe monsters." She laughed, and the others joined in, sharing stories of their own fears, which mostly revolved around the imaginary creatures they had conjured up in their games. The aliens listened intently, fascinated by the children's stories. They learned that humans had fears too, but they faced them with courage and creativity. This resonated deeply with Scylla and his team, who had always been trained to view humanity as a potential threat, not as companions. As the sun began to dip below the horizon, casting a warm glow over the clearing, the atmosphere felt charged with an unspoken bond forming between them. The aliens began to realize that this unexpected friendship could lead to greater understanding between their worlds. "Can we come back tomorrow?" Maya asked eagerly. "You guys are really fun." "Absolutely," Scylla replied, his heart swelling with joy. "We'd love to join you again." The children cheered, excited about their new friends. As they all stood up to leave, the aliens knew that this was just the beginning. They were not just there to observe. They were forging a friendship that could change the way both species viewed each other. As the children waved goodbye, Scylla turned to his team, a smile spreading across his face. "This is more than just a mission. We have the chance to learn from them, to understand their strengths, and perhaps even share our own." The team agreed, filled with a renewed sense of purpose. They were not just aliens observing human children. They were becoming a part of something larger, an unexpected alliance that could bridge the vast gap between their worlds. As they departed, the echoes of laughter lingered in the air, promising more adventures and deeper connections to come. The aliens knew they would return, ready to learn from these brave, imaginative children who had shown them a side of humanity they never expected to see. The next day, Tyler and his team were eager to return to the clearing. The excitement of their new friendship with the human children filled them with a sense of purpose. As they made their way back, the sun shone brightly, and the air was thick with the sounds of nature. When they arrived, they found Mia, Sam, Leo, and Spark already there, waiting for them. The children greeted the aliens with big smiles and waves. "You came back," Mia exclaimed, bouncing on her heels. "We have new games to play." Slayer smiled back, feeling the warmth in his chest. "We wouldn't miss it for the world." The day began with laughter as the children led the aliens through new games filled with imagination. They played as if they were on a grand adventure, battling imaginary creatures and exploring uncharted territories. The aliens did their best to keep up, and to their surprise, they found themselves enjoying the games just as much as the children. However, as the day progressed, Scylla's team couldn't shake a feeling of unease. While they were having fun, they couldn't ignore the distant sounds of machinery and the buzzing of alien ships overhead. It reminded them of the real mission they were on, surveillance of Earth for potential threats. Suddenly, as they were playing, a loud roar echoed through the trees. The ground shook beneath them, and the children froze, wide-eyed with fear. Xylar quickly glanced up, seeing the dark shadows of ships passing overhead. "Stay calm. We're here with you," he shouted, trying to reassure the children. Maya looked terrified. "What's that noise?" she asked, her voice trembling. "Just some loud machines," Xylar said, forcing a smile. "They won't hurt us." But even he wasn't sure. The tension in the air was thick, and he could feel his team's anxiety. As the roar faded, the children seemed to relax a bit, but Xylar noticed how their smiles had faded. The joyful atmosphere had shifted, and he felt responsible. He was supposed to protect them, but what if they were caught in the middle of something dangerous? "Let's play a quieter game," Leo suggested, trying to lighten the mood. "How about we tell stories?" The aliens agreed, grateful for the change in activity. They all sat in a circle, and one by one, they shared stories of bravery and adventure. The children spoke about their favorite heroes from movies and books, while the aliens shared tales from their own worlds, filled with battles and exploration. However, as they shared stories, the distant sounds of machinery grew louder again. Xylar could see the worried looks on his team's faces. They had to find out what was happening, but they also didn't want to frighten the children. Suddenly, the ground shook once more, this time harder. The children screamed, and Xylar jumped to his feet. "Everyone stay here. We'll be right back." He turned to his team. "We need to investigate." They moved cautiously toward the sound, leaving the children in the clearing. Xylar and his team ventured deeper into the woods, following the noise. The trees rustled around them, and tension hung in the air. What if they were discovered? What if the children were in danger? As they approached a clearing, they saw it, a group of alien warriors, armed and preparing for something. Xylar felt his heart race. "What are they doing here?" he whispered, his mind racing with possibilities. "Should we warn the children?" One of his team members asked, anxiety lacing his voice. "No," Xylar replied firmly. "We need to know what's happening first. If they find out we're here, it could escalate." They watched as the warriors communicated with a larger ship overhead. A commander was barking orders, gesturing toward the forest where the children played. Xylar felt a knot tighten in his stomach. It seemed they were preparing for a mission, one that could disrupt the fragile peace he had just started to build with the human children. "What do they want?" one of the aliens wondered aloud. Xylar didn't have the answer, but he knew they couldn't let the children become part of this. "We have to protect them," he said decisively. "We can't let the warriors find them." They quickly made their way back, and as they approached the clearing, they saw the children still sitting together, looking uneasy. "Where did you go?" Maya asked, concern etched on her face. "We were just exploring," Xylar said, trying to sound casual. "How about we play a different game? Something fun." Leo frowned. "But it's so loud. Are we safe?" Xylar hesitated, unsure how to reassure them without revealing the truth. "Yes, of course. We'll keep you safe," he said firmly. "Just stay close to us." As they began to play again, the sound of machinery faded into the distance, but the tension lingered. The aliens were determined to shield the children from the chaos, but they also knew the truth couldn't be hidden forever. As the day wore on, they realized they were standing on the edge of something much bigger than a simple friendship. The fate of both their worlds hung in the balance, and the children's innocent play could become a focal point in a brewing conflict. Xylar looked at the children, their laughter trying to drown out the noise of impending danger. He felt a surge of protectiveness and knew he had to act quickly. They were no longer just observers. They were now part of a deeper story that could change everything as dusk fell. The clearing transformed into a magical realm bathed in the warm glow of twilight. The laughter of the children echoed softly, momentarily masking the tension in the air. But for Xylar and his team, The shadows were filled with uncertainty. They knew they had to act fast to protect the children from the brewing storm. The sound of the alien warriors grew closer, the rustling of leaves and crunching of twigs alerting Sylar to their approach. He exchanged worried glances with his team. "We can't let them find the children," he said urgently. "We have to distract them." "Maybe we can use the games," suggested one of his teammates. "If we create a loud enough diversion, it might draw their attention away." Sylar nodded, determination flooding through him. "All right, we need to act fast." He turned to the children, who were playing with toys and giggling, oblivious to the danger. "Kids, we need your help. Can you make the loudest noise you can?" The children looked at him with wide eyes. "Why?" Maya asked, her voice trembling. "There are some creatures nearby that we need to scare away," Sylar explained, hoping his words would calm them. "If we make enough noise, they'll run off." Sam, ever the brave one, jumped up. "I can shout really loud." He opened his mouth and let out a powerful war cry, mimicking the sounds of battle he had seen in his favorite action movies. The other children quickly joined in, clapping and stomping their feet, their enthusiasm igniting a wave of energy. Sylar watched, proud and anxious. They were creating a ruckus, but he hoped it would be enough to draw the attention of the approaching warriors. Meanwhile, the alien commanders in the distance stopped, their ears perked up at the sound. "What is that?" one of them said, looking toward the noise. "It's coming from the forest." Sylar could see them through the trees, their eyes narrowing as they focused on the clearing. "Now," he shouted, urging the children to be even louder. With a unified roar, the kids screamed at the top of their lungs. The noise bounced off the trees, echoing into the forest, and the warriors hesitated. They had expected to find something dangerous in the woods, but this was unexpected. The sheer volume and energy of the children's laughter and shouts confused them. "Look," one of the warriors pointed. "It's just kids." Just as Sylar hoped, the warriors moved closer, curiosity overcoming their initial caution. This was their chance. Sylar quickly gestured to his team to form a barrier between the children and the approaching aliens. They lined up protectively, standing firm. "What are you doing?" Sylar whispered to his team, panic rising in his chest. "We need to hold them off until we can get the kids out of here. We can't just run. They'll see us." One of his teammates replied, fear in his voice. Sylar took a deep breath, trying to keep calm. "We need to buy time. Let's keep them distracted." As the warriors approached, Sylar stepped forward, raising his hands to show he meant no harm. "Hey, over here," he shouted, trying to get their attention. The warriors paused, their expressions a mix of confusion and intrigue. "What's happening?" One of them growled, eyeing Sylar and the children behind him. "Why are you with these creatures?" "They're not creatures. They're children," Sylar insisted. "They're just playing. You have no reason to attack them." Murmurs spread through the group of warriors, but they were still on high alert. "We were ordered to assess potential threats. These humans could be dangerous," one of the commanders said, crossing his arms. "They're not dangerous," Sylar pleaded. "They're innocent. They don't even know what's going on." Suddenly, one of the children stepped forward. It was Leo, his small frame shaking but his voice steady. "We're just having fun," he shouted, trying to convey the joy of their game. "You can play with us too. It's not scary." Sylar felt a mix of pride and dread. Leo was brave, but the warriors didn't understand. Would they see the children as a threat or as allies? The lead warrior scoffed, narrowing his eyes at Leo. "Children are often used as shields. They can be deceiving." "Not these kids," Sylar interjected, feeling the tension rise. "They are just kids. They don't even know what danger is. They have played with things much scarier than you." As if on cue, Sam started mimicking an alien battle cry, waving his arms dramatically, which made the other children burst into laughter. For a moment, the warriors looked taken aback. The sound of laughter and joy was unexpected, breaking through their hardened exterior. They exchanged glances, confusion mixed with curiosity. "Why do they act like this?" one warrior asked, clearly baffled. "Because they're brave," Scylla replied, seizing the moment. "They know how to have fun, even in the face of danger. Maybe you can learn something from them." The warriors hesitated, uncertainty rippling through them. They had expected fear, but here were these children, laughing and playing without a care in the world. "Maybe they are not a threat after all," one of the warriors murmured.